Hello, and welcome to the Back on Track Achieving Healthy Weight Loss podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Alicia Shelley. Today's episode, we are talking about many of us struggle with finding time to exercise when your schedule is packed. Now, whether you're juggling kids, career, spouses, errands, family obligations, work obligations, all of it, this episode is for you. So let's dive into some practical exercise hacks for busy working individuals because your health deserves a spot on the calendar too. So the first thing I say is make sure you make yourself a priority. And sometimes it's so hard to actually make ourselves a priority because we feel that you feel guilty when we're not able to help our family, help our parents, help our whoever, our work. We feel like we're not living up to that standard. But truth is, majority of us are struggling. And sometimes you have to be able to make yourself a priority, especially make your health a priority so that you can be able to continue to help others. So number one, change your mindset. It's okay. Tell yourself it's okay to exercise, to take 30 minutes for me, to take a deep breath so that I can be mentally, physically, and emotionally healthy so that I can give back to my family, to my work, and to be the best person that I want. Now, the second thing I want you to do is to give yourself grace. Why is it important to give yourself grace? Because we guilt trip ourselves. We say things to ourselves that we would never say to anyone else. And so give ourselves grace that whatever we decide to do is not going to be perfect. I know personally, sometimes I think back to when I was in my 20s and, I was just footloose and fancy free. I didn't have any obligations. I could go to the gym and spend 2 hours at the gym. But now it's not the case. I have so many different obligations. I'm trying to juggle so many different balls in the air. And now it's like, you know what? It's not going to be perfect, but that's okay. Because the goal is about progress, not perfection. Sometimes we have to start at just doing 5 minutes, 10 minutes, so that we can work our way up to doing that 1 mile walk or 2 mile walk or even 5 mile walks. But the goal is that we need to give ourselves grace on where we start. So number one, I said, was to make ourselves a priority, change our mindset. Number two, give ourselves grace. And then now let's make a plan, because the first thing we need to do is schedule the movement. And one person reminds us to schedule the movement like it's a meeting. That means you put it on the calendar, you put it on your phone, you put it on your work calendar, you can put it on your paper calendar, wherever it is, you put it on there that, hey, at whatever time I'm going to walk on this particular day, or I'm going to exercise on this particular day. And if you ever felt guilty about not working out, I just let it go. Just remind yourself, I'm giving myself grace. I have a plan and I'm going to do the small steps, because sometimes we all think that it's either we do it all or nothing. And that's not the case. What we find that even if we can't do that hour or 2 hours at the gym, hey, maybe I can walk for 30 minutes around my neighborhood and give my dog a walk too. The small steps that we do will add up. The next thing is that we need to stack it up. Use habit stacking for the win. So if you ever heard of habit stacking, I recommend that you look at the book Atomic Habits. It is excellent. Atomic Habits is so excellent. And he talks about habit stacking. And basically, you pair a new habit with something you already do. A good example, we all brush our teeth. So maybe we could do some squats or do some maybe not while we're brushing our teeth, but doing squats or lunges while we are brushing our teeth. Or maybe walking while we're brushing our teeth. We don't have to look at ourselves in the mirror while we're brushing. We know the movement. Also, let's say your kids are, you're taking your child to baseball practice. Well, while they're practicing, you can be stretching, you can be walking around, trying to get that exercise in while watching your kids play. The other thing is, let's say you're in your house, you're waiting for your coffee to brew. Maybe you can do some calf raises. So these micro movements may not feel like much, but they build consistency, and consistency builds habits, and habits builds results. So start small add new habits in, pair them together. The one thing I have to do for myself is I know I'm going to work and I'm coming back, but I have to add the new habit of bringing my workout clothes. So after work, all I do is I go straight to the gym or straight to the track or straight to the trail, do my little walk, and then go home. And then I don't have to do anything else. It's already in. The next thought is get creative with your workout. I mean, you do not have to go to the gym and get on the treadmill or get on the elliptical. You can be creative. You can go line dancing. You can go pole dancing, whatever it is. They have different classes all around. And sometimes you can get your friends to join you so it can be fun. Or you can do what I do. Put on my little headset, talk to people while I walk, and hey, 30 minutes is up. You can play tag with your kids. You can incorporate your family. You can go hiking with your family. You can walk during soccer practice instead of sitting in the car. Use a stroller for power walking. Take the stairs. You can either park a little bit further and do a quick walk. Or I also love YouTube. And sometimes what I do is I'll have my little yoga mat out. So first thing in the morning, I go to that 5-minute yoga, do the stretch. I'm feeling better. I'm less stiff, which is so important. And then and then not say done for the day, but at least done for that moment. So find ways to be creative. You don't need a fancy gym or even 30 minutes in one go. You can break it up into like 10-minute segments throughout the day because it all adds up to the 30 minutes at the end of the day. Next, I'm going to recommend that you make your exercise fun and make it social. Like I was saying before, you're more likely to stick with a particular exercise if it's something you enjoy. So make movement social. Walk and talk with a friend, join a virtual workout group. I remember during the pandemic, this lady had a Zoom call, and at 5:00, her family members, her daughter would all get on and they would just talk while they're doing exercise at the house. So you can still do that. Zoom still exists. And if not Zoom, they have Google Meets. It's free. So, you can do different things to kind of get people engaged while you exercise as well. And try to find what works for your lifestyle too. When you're exercising, you can even listen to your favorite podcast, maybe this one. But whatever that is, make it enjoyable, get your family involved, and turn it into a game or a family dance party. My friend, she has so many during Christmas time. They have a little dance competition where they all come together and they're dancing, and the mom chooses who's the winner. So the goal is to find ways to make it social, bond, and burn calories. Last but not least, wake up about 10 minutes earlier. And I know it's a tough one because sometimes I like to sleep in my bed, but just hear me out. Starting your day with movement, even just 10 minutes of stretching or a brisk walk in your house up and down the stairs, can boost your energy, your mood, and metabolism. But if you're not a morning person, no problem. Try a 10-minute evening yoga flow to wind down. The key is to find what works for your lifestyle, not anyone else. So remember, you've got this. Movement does not have to be perfect. It just has to be consistent. So number one, make yourself a priority. Change your mindset. It doesn't have to be all or none. It can be small pieces here and there. Secondly, make sure that you're giving yourself grace. It's not going to be perfect, and that's okay. Life's not perfect. We're not perfect. So do the best you can. And then number three, stack it up. Habit stack puts different habits together so it helps to build consistency. Because remember, micro movements may not feel like much, but they build consistency. Consistency builds habits, and habits builds results. Number four, get creative with your workout. Find what, it doesn't have to be the same old thing. Try to do something different. Number five, make it fun, make it social. Find ways to incorporate your family and your friends in your exercise so that you have that accountability. And you're not going to let them down if you go and exercise, if you miss exercise. So make sure to make it fun and social. And last but not least, try waking up 10 minutes earlier or going to bed 10 minutes earlier or getting ready for bed so that you can start that evening yoga flow or doing a brisk walk to kind of help you unwind. Now, remember, you are strong, you are capable, and every ounce of effort you give to your health will help you in the long run. Just the small habits will help build consistency and the results. If today's episode gave you some fresh ideas, I'd love to hear from you. Share this episode with a fellow friend or family member who could use a little encouragement in the exercise department. And don't forget to subscribe to this podcast, and you'll never miss a moment of motivation. Thanks for tuning in. And remember, stay strong, stay moving, and stay committed to you and consistent. And I'll see you next time.